What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt Taville with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua said this about John Fury's latest outburst towards his son Tyson Fury, and this is what he had to say. He said, quote, "I got a lot of time for this interview. Good listen. Some massive statements have been made if you listen carefully. I would want to sit down with JF, which is John Fury, have a Guinness, and talk fighting." It's interesting because AJ is starting to see and understand that he's not the only one that feels this way and should be feeling this way. And the irony of it is that John Fury was the guy that questioned and doubted the negotiations or the competence of Eddie Hearn getting the fight done. Now he is all against what Tyson Fury is starting to do. And of course, Anthony Joshua is too. Bars. And it's crazy because Joshua said something very important. He was like, hey, it's amazing what you will, have some good massive statements, have been made if you listen carefully. Now, let's talk about those statements that, I feel that he's talking about. What John Fury made, the points that he made, right? He made the points like this. He said, well, the yes men, okay? Obviously, the yes men come about where you have people around Tyson Fury that's getting him to do whatever they want him to do. A lot of times, the whole illusion is, I work for that person. Do you work for that person or does that person work for you? It's almost like if you have people that are helping you control or run your career, are they running your career or are they assisting your career for you? There's a difference. See, if you are control of what you really want to do, you will make the final call, not the person that's supposed to be helping you. And if you don't make the final call, that means you're not the person in charge. That's what Anthony Joshua was talking about. Okay, and Tyson Fury, I don't think is in control of his own career. A lot of people say always he's in control. Maybe here or there. That's a very good question. However, if you look at how Tyson Fury was going to fight Caballero, right? And then all of a sudden Caballero, he had the fight, then all of a sudden the fight's not going to happen due to money. Who do you think's call was that? You know what I'm saying? Like, who do you think made that decision for that fight not to happen, depending on what money? Do you think Tyson Fury said, well, hey, I'm not getting paid, therefore I shouldn't fight? Or should I put it, I don't have enough money to sanction this event, so therefore I shouldn't be paid. Who do you think is in charge? Do you think he was in charge of that? Do you think he made the decision? Or do you think Frank Warren or Bob Arum? Or do you think the networks themselves? So it's one of those things where you have to really question who's is in charge. The people that have the money are in charge of Tyson Fury, I feel. The people that have the power are in charge. It's not Tyson Fury himself, and that's what Anthony Joshua was talking about. I think that's what he meant by what John Fury was talking, because that's exactly what John Fury was saying, okay? And him saying that, hey, I want to sit down and, talk boxing with him. He's starting to understand that, like, John Fury's an old school cat. He wasn't the best. No, he wasn't, but he knew boxing, and he knew that, hey, nobody can dictate my career for me like they're dictating my son. He's a grown man, like he said, but he's going in the wrong direction, and here's the irony of that. What if Tyson Fury gets beat? If you guys think about that, if he gets beaten, he will know this was the worst decision that I made in boxing. And the irony part about that, here's the irony that kills. Tyson Fury gets beat by Wilder. He would have realized he made a mistake. But it was Wilder first that got beat by Fury that realized that, I made a mistake fucking with Tyson Fury again when I should have been fighting Joshua in the first place. You see what I mean? So it's it's one of those deals where People are running from a thing that they aren't sure of due to concern or fear, when in fact they're running into something that they think they have control over, which they don't. Wilder thought that he was going to beat Tyson Fury, and he got clobbered. Tyson Fury this time may go into a fight thinking, I'm going to clobber him again, and gets knocked out. But we will soon see. And Anthony Joshua wants to sit back and drink a Guinness with John Fury because he's starting to see the light. Okay, John Fury is exactly starting to see the light about what's going on with Tyson Fury and who's really at fault, because it's amazing how you have a person that's totally opposite, that was totally against you, take a total 360 and start really seeing your side. So it's enlightening for Anthony Joshua, and it's also refreshing for Anthony Joshua just to hear John Fury do that. And that would be worth him going to wherever he lives, and dropping off a keg or a pint and sitting back and talk about boxing. Probably to sit there and talk about how his son is fucking up his career. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Anthony Joshua's latest post on John Fury. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.